Once upon a time, in a small village in Nigeria, there lived a bright young girl named Oluwatoyin, which means a God's gift. With her warm smile and sparkling eyes, she was known for her kindness and creativity. Oluwatoyin loved to draw, and her sketches of the vibrant landscapes of her homeland filled her heart with joy. But one day, her parents announced that they would be moving to the United Kingdom for a new job opportunity. Excited but nervous, Oluwatoyin packed her bags, dreaming of new adventures. Upon arriving in the bustling city, Oluwatoyin felt overwhelmed. The streets were filled with unfamiliar faces and strange sounds. When she started primary school, her excitement quickly faded. Oluwatoyin was different from the other children. Her skin was a beautiful shade of brown, and her hair was thick and curly, which they called picky hair and nappy hair. The other kids didn't understand her African accent and often mocked her, chanting, "Abula bula abula bully," whenever she spoke. In the classroom, Oluwatoyin struggled to fit in. During arguments, the other children would point at her and shout, "You African," as if being from Nigeria was something shameful. They would ask if she lived in a jungle, and their laughter echoed through the hallways like a storm. Each day, Oluwatoyin would sit alone on a bench during recess, tears sliding down her cheeks, longing for a friend, a kind word, or even a smile. She wore the same clothes every day, as her family was still adjusting to the new life and expenses. The other children noticed this too, which only added to their teasing. They would whisper and giggle, making her feel even more isolated. Oluwatoyin's heart felt as heavy as the clouds on a rainy day, and the joy of drawing faded as sadness took hold. One day, as Oluwatoyin sat alone on the bench, a teacher named Mrs. Evans noticed her tears. Mrs. Evans had a kind heart and a keen eye for those who suffered silently. She approached Oluwatoyin and sat beside her. "What's wrong, my dear?" she asked gently. Oluwatoyin hesitated but then shared her feelings of loneliness and the hurtful words of her classmates. Mrs. Evans listened carefully and then spoke, "You are wonderful just the way you are, Oluwatoyin. Your accent is a part of you, and it tells a beautiful story of where you come from. Let's show your classmates how special you truly are." Inspired by her words, Mrs. Evans organized a multicultural day at school, inviting students to share their cultures. On the day of the event, Oluwatoyin nervously stood in front of her classmates, clutching a piece of paper filled with her drawings. With a deep breath, she began to share stories about Nigeria, the lively markets, the colorful festivals, and the rich traditions. As she spoke, her accent danced through the air, captivating her classmates. The more she shared, the more they realized how beautiful her culture was. Slowly, the laughter turned into curiosity. Some children even approached her after her presentation, asking questions and wanting to learn more about Nigeria. They began to understand that differences should be celebrated, not mocked. Oluwatoyin's heart started to heal as new friendships blossomed. With Mrs. Evans' guidance and her own bravery, Oluwatoyin transformed her pain into strength. She embraced her identity and found pride in her heritage. No longer did she sit alone on the bench. Instead, she played and laughed with her friends, sharing stories and drawing together. As the years passed, Oluwatoyin grew more confident. She became an advocate for kindness, reminding her classmates of the importance of empathy and understanding. And though the memories of bullying lingered, they became a part of her story, a story of resilience, friendship, and the beauty of embracing who you are. In the end, Oluwatoyin learned that her African accent, her picky hair, and her unique experiences were treasures that made her who she was. She stood tall, a beacon of strength, showing everyone that love and acceptance could conquer even the harshest of words. And in that little school in the UK, Oluwatoyin's spirit shone brightly, inspiring many to celebrate their differences and find joy in their unique stories.